Alright, what's up guys? Making sure that I've got this going first before I get too far into this. I'm going to be redoing the live, or this live, because yesterday was a mess and I'm wanting to make sure that I have everything on point, because what happened was I got a new camera and I just can't really understand how to set it up, I guess, but now we're good. Alright, so on track. Here, what we're going to do today is what I do pretty much every Saturday. Today, Sunday, not Saturday, but is source on Bookmine. When I was first starting out, I had a hard time like grasping how to source, like I was doing what people were telling me, but it didn't feel like I was doing it completely right. And one channel that I watched, not for books, but for the traditional OA, they showed me, they just pretty much did this, where they would just hop on and source, and I would just watch them every day, and it kind of helped me understand like how to do it, and how to find stuff online. So now I'm trying to do that. So if you don't know, this is Bookmine. There is a link in the description if you're watching this and you are interested in checking it out with a 15-day free trial. This is like if you're wanting to source books online, this is the tool to have. I don't think it's the tool to start out with. I think just watching Keepa stuff is probably the best thing to do, or not watching Keepa, but using Keepa is the best thing to do if you're starting out. But this is definitely the next step once you've like got good cash flow going and everything. Let's see here. Just want to make sure I got everything lined up. All right, we're good. All right, so this first book is definitely a Christmas book. It doesn't say Christmas in the title or anything, but this is something I clicked on just because it seemed like it was spiking pretty hard for the Christmas season, which there isn't a whole lot of demand for it, but it does pop up right here. If we go back to further, and it does seem to pop up to at least around the 30s. This year it looked like it just completely went out of stock and there was nobody to take advantage of it. And this year looks like it popped up to even 49. So I'm betting if we can get this book for stupid cheap, like around $6-7, we could probably make some money on it. But it's April right now, so I'm not gonna be buying this book right now. What I'm gonna do is I got this right here is SellerAmp, and SellerAmp has a little feature where you can connect your Google Sheets to it, and once you click this, it'll auto-populate the data that you have selected on that Google Sheet. And so now in the future, whenever it comes time to be looking for Christmas books, I'll have that one saved and I'll look at it and see and kind of assess if I'm like wanting to go for that or not. Because Christmas books, it seems, some years certain Christmas books do really good, some years they don't, and that one didn't have a whole lot of demand on it, so it's up in the air to see how that will perform this year. If the offer count keeps rising and it gets really, really high compared to last year, then probably won't be a good one to go for. Let's check this one out. Loose leaf for Introduction to Mass Communication. And another thing, if you're watching live with these, I always am doing where I'll if I find a good book, I will put it in my cart, but I'm not checking out. So if you want to check out with it while we're doing live, that's one benefit to watching live. You can pick these books up. I've already bought all my books this morning that I need to, so anything I get more is just cherry on top. So if I find anything today, it's for you guys if you want to take advantage of it. And this book doesn't look bad. Is it probably acceptable, I'm guessing? No, it's good. And they got 2 in stock. We got, so it's, what is that, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.77 is what we can get it for. We are eligible. It's another good thing about SellerAmp. 11.77. Again, SellerAmp, it has eligible, like you don't have to go in and try to list it to know if you're eligible or not to sell it. It'll tell you right there, which is a huge time saver. There is a link in the description down below if you want to check out SellerAmp. It is definitely the tool to have to assess if you're going to buy something or not. But anyways, this book, I would say we could probably get it for the 40s. That's probably like a safe bet. It's obviously gone for way higher back here in the 90s even. But I would probably say, be conservative, we can get it for 40, and that's pretty much 100% ROI just underneath. That's an amazing book right there. You can double your money, and I mean, it may not go fast. Okay, well, I'll take the amazing back, but it definitely has a little demand in here. It has a U shape here. It's not a crazy one or by any means, but you should probably get this sold in August by the $40 range. But the offer count is a little high comparative to last year, what it was. So it might be a little bit lower, but I would say you could probably get this sold for 40. I'm definitely going to add that to the cart. Add it up. All right. Moving on. Domino imaging. Okay, so let's check this one out. It said volume 1 on it. If it's a 2-volume set, I'm always nervous to go for 2-volume sets just because whenever it's like a really low price, sometimes that means that it's sometimes that means that they're not coming with both the sets or both the books it's supposed to come with. It'll just come with one, and that's really frustrating. All right, so we're at 63.24, 92, 130. This is not a bad one. Back here it's going easily in the 250s. 185. If we can get this at 185, even at $63, that's a pretty good flip. It's from Amazon and Amazon resell, so this is fine, and you probably get this almost brand new. I would definitely go for this, but just to be aware, if you do have a Prime subscription, like I don't have one on this account, I have one on my personal account, so you have to pay for shipping is what I'm trying to get at. In order to do the Amazon to Amazon method where you're flipping books from Amazon to Amazon, it's completely fine as long as you pay for shipping. You can't whenever it comes to Prime, except for, I guess this is above the $30 price or 30 something price where you get free shipping no matter what. I think that's fine. I'm pretty sure that's fine as long as you have above the certain amount where you're getting the free shipping that way and not using Prime to get free shipping. Does that make sense? It's a little confusing, but all I know is it's against Amazon's terms and service or whatever to use Prime to buy books on Amazon to flip them back on Amazon. That's the main issue right there. But let's hold on. We kind of went past that without even thinking about it. So let's say we can get that. I'm pretty sure we can, which is 63.24. 63.24. If we can get that at that price, and the offer count really isn't rising too much, we'll even put it up here. Like, we'll see if we can't get it sold at like 150. What happens when we do that? That's a $45 profit, 71% ROI. That's huge, and I think we can get it sold for more, the 180-ish or more, and that's 100% ROI. That's $70 a profit. That's an amazing flip. So let's go in here. For some reason, the Prime deal hasn't been showing up, so we can't filter through the Primes. I'm sure that there are Primes, but look at that. Amazon itself has this book at $1,000, $1,300 even. That's ridiculous. But anyways, this book, we got 6 of them being sold here at that price, 3 of them being sold at this price, and then it pops up to 142. So that's a good sign, as long as these sell out, which I'm sure they will pretty fast, then we'll be getting that price at least about 150 or more. But you gotta know that you're gonna have to wait for these to sell out, because this is you're competing with Amazon technically here, and you know, they're probably gonna have the buy box for a while until they sell out. But I mean, I buy one, you buy one, you know, 6 of us buy one, then we're solid. We're moving on. But until that happens, it's gonna be that 63 price. But I still think that this would be a good book for the future to grab. Just might take a little longer to sell than you would like. This one, we're at 103, 106, 107.55. It stays up there. Let's see. We get this 107.55. A little steep. I don't really like spending that much money on a single book. Just, at least right now. When I got more cash flow, you know, obviously you can take a little more risks and not really feel the effect if it turns on you. But this book, ever since Amazon's been off of it, because you can see back here, oh well, even Amazon wasn't on it before. Okay. Huh. So usually whenever I see a book that has the price down here and then all of a sudden it pops up and goes really high in the price, I'm thinking that its true value is down here in the 80s. But recently you can see that it's popped up and it's been in the 200s, even up to 300s, 170s. So for the past 3 years ish, a little under 3 years, it's been up there. So I think you could get this one sold for at least, I mean, right now the buy box is $197. Let's see what happens whenever we do that. $197. Yeah, I mean, it's not 50% ROI, but it's $47 of profit. And like, you can't, off a single book, you can't, you know, deny that that's a great return. Just the question is it going to stay up there? Because we got a few factors against us. Number one, you know, you can count the sales rank drops, so it's not like a crazy selling book. Number two, the offer count is rising, and it looks like it's the highest it's ever been right now at 20. And then let's look at our competition here. We're buying it from Goodwill, and it is good, which is great. That's a big help. Gosh darn it, that stupid Prime filter. This is our FBA competition is 197. Then we got how many FBM offers until we get to, okay. So it pops up to 132 here, but that's not, you don't really want that price. We want this price to be getting up to here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 FBM offers before it pops up to this, you know, price that we would rather sell it at, up there in the 190s. And then we got used offers up here in the 208. Here we go. Here's our competition. We got 197 as the FBA offer and a 216 as an FBA offer. That's not bad. You know, that's pretty dang good. I would probably pass on this just because of this right here. I think its true value is down here, but there was a whole bunch of demand for it, and so it spiked it up randomly. You can see that it wasn't going crazy, and then right here it drops off with the used offer count. So that tells me the demand picked up, the price reacted to it, and since the supply was low, we were able to keep that price pretty high. But now that the supply is kind of climbing, it might come back down, you know, in the future, if the demand doesn't ever come back like it did here and here. But it could. It does sell quite a bit. I still wouldn't do this just because you're taking a fairly big risk for spending $107. So I would pass on it personally. But it's definitely something you could make some money on. I actually bought this book earlier. It's a great seasonal book. You can see the dips right here where the sales rank, the green lines dropping, they go down here, and then the used price pops way up here and then pops back down. And just a great college book, pretty much. Let's look at this one. This one looks promising. Got a big old drop off. living where you belong. Let's see here. 25.57. So it's at 65 back here. We're able to get it. What's that? That's 30, 31, 56. Yeah, 31, 56. 31's a little high for this. Looks like we could hope to get it at 77-ish, 75. Anywhere between 65 and 75. 31's gonna be too high for that. We're not gonna. You definitely squeeze out something with that, but not with what I want to do. Let's see here. We got, and a lot of these, especially the seasonal books, you know, they're not great right now, but they'll pop off later. You know what I'm saying? Like this one right here. You see that the demand for it increases during the season. So yeah, it's low right now. The price is low right now. And if you come in here and look at the 3-month, it probably doesn't look great. This is probably a college book. There is a newer edition, which you always have to take in consideration with college books. Let's see here. 40. Yeah, 40, 43. Yeah, so like right now, and if you looked at the last 3 months, except for right here, you can see the increase. But if you look past here, it doesn't look like an amazing book. But you look at the wider angle, and it's like, okay, this book has some value to it. It holds its value up there, and anywhere from the 50s to 80s. So it's definitely a book we could probably move at $23.99 though. Might be a little high. 3.99. Let's say 50. So 50 is too low. You know, I don't want to spend $23 to make 7. That's just, it's not quite there. 60, looking a little better. If we get in at 60, we're making $16 of profit, and we're over our 50% ROI. So that's helpful. But right now the buy box is 55, but that doesn't mean that the buy box isn't gonna spike up during the season whenever it comes, which definitely could. All right, let's come back here. And only thing I really filter with Bookmine, that's the beauty of Bookmine compared to like Keepa. Keepa has an ungodly amount of filters. This one, the Bookmine breaks it down pretty simple for you. You know, all I pretty much do always is take out close and good. That way I see the books that are bringing the most profit. I want the biggest profit books up front. Whether it sells, you know, once a year or a whole bunch of times a year, you know. Dang, look at this book. That season's crazy. Let's look at this. Whenever you see those U shapes, that's like a huge sign that you might be able to pick this up for cheap on the off season, and then flip them quite a bit more on during the season. I'm definitely trying to leverage seasonal books hard this year. But yeah, look at this. My goodness gracious. This demand, this U drop, lasted from way back here, started in, looks like probably April, June, May, June, July, somewhere in there. Started back here and stayed selling all the way to January, and then just let up. It was like, what the heck? That's crazy. Doesn't look like that's a usual thing. It hasn't done that in the previous years. But this last year, that demand is insane. But right now we can get it at 79, 73. The used offer count is rising. It's hard to say because you want to see at least 2 years of like data to where you can kind of like say, okay, this did good for the past 2 years. I can safely say that it's going to do good again this year. But this one doesn't really have like a pattern to it. It does keep up at 295, 349. It does stay up there in price. This probably wouldn't be a bad one to at least try. Acceptable. I mean, it's pretty good, positive feedback rating, but I mean, since it doesn't have it past like a pattern going on and it's just kind of random, it'd be tough to say. But I think you could get this sold up there if you got it for that $79, $73 price. I think you could do it. Am I eligible for this? I am eligible. Is there a new edition? There is no new edition. Yeah, I would definitely go for this. I'm actually gonna pop that in the. It's it's quite a bit of money to be risking, but with how much demand there was right here during the season last year, I don't think you'd be having an issue of selling it up there closer to the 200s. Let's move on. We got 39.86. Not so much. Let's go up here and let's toggle on good, and we'll filter it by. Let's do high school and college. Maybe not college. There's so many college. Let's try to just do high school. See what we got here, since high school season is about to be starting here soon. We got high school kind of lasts from from as soon as May ends, from that time until about like whenever September starts, and even a little bit into September for the stragglers. This one isn't bad looking, but you'll start seeing the sales pick up and stuff if you prepare now. I've been going to the high school book little like mastermind class thing with that Victor and Joji have been putting on, and they're really helping me understand like exactly which books look good, because the books that I was avoiding, which are the really, really big U-shape sales ranks, but they didn't return like a whole bunch. They're like, you're looking for those ones that sell like crazy, and you're gonna be able to sell multiple copies. Those are the ones that you're not gonna get a huge ROI return, but if you sell like 10 of them, then you're making a ton of profit, so it doesn't matter. But I was avoiding those just because my criteria was 50% ROI. That's what I'm looking for, But I see now that you can kind of fudge that a little bit if you're going to be able to sell a whole bunch of them, and that definitely helps with that. But we'll see. Right now I'm actively buying as many high school books as I can. Might be a little early, but I'm stocking up on them. I don't think it's early, actually, because prices will start rising back up as soon as May ends. Or shoot, maybe even before a little bit. All right, so we've already went through all the high school books. Not too much there, so let's pop over here to college. Let's look what we got here. College books, from what I'm learning and understanding, is that high school books aren't affected by new editions as much, because schools will just buy the older edition and don't care about the one or two words that are different in the new edition. But college is a little more susceptible to that, a little more susceptible to the change of a new edition of a book, from what I understand. So whenever there is a newer edition with the college books, you might want to look into it, understand why, that way you kind of can have a feeling of what if there is a new edition, should you be buying the new edition instead, instead of the old edition? Yeah, stuff like that, Let's see. This one doesn't look bad. We come down here, we got it at, looks like, what is that, 1357. We come down here, let's look at where the season comes in. So the season comes in here at 33.58. So it pops up. It doesn't have a whole lot of demand. but it always seems to pop up. We got August. There's a little demand in January, but not a huge demand. But August always seems to be the season where it really pops off. Let's see here. And if we're getting it that low, 1357, right? 13.57. What's the... Oh, there is a newer edition I just saw. So the offer count really isn't much bigger than it was last year. Or shoot, it's lower than last year. It's quite a bit lower by 10-ish. Let's see here. 78, 67, 57. So we could probably say mid-ground 60-ish. Yeah, I would probably say 60. And that's $25 of profit, 186% ROI. This is an amazing book right here. There is a newer edition though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to check it out and see, is this a better option for me? Because as you can see, oops, here, let's do this. You can see that the newer edition has, let's see how long it's been since the newer edition came out, because that's what the main thing. If you can still see sales on the older edition while the newer edition is still selling, then you can safely say that you're going to get sales with that in the next year. And looks like this has been out since 2019. The newer edition has, and of course this is still loading. And let's see, we get 1357. And we said get it around the 60 range. And this has been out since 2012. And you can see right here that it did react off of that release of the new edition. The price plummeted, but then it popped right back up. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just assuming here, but maybe they, everybody was buying the new edition for a higher price and then realized that, oh, this isn't much different than the older edition, and it was just like, screw it, let's just buy the older edition for cheaper, just my guess. I have no rhyme or reason, but that's what I would assume happened. So I could guarantee that you could sell this for at least 50. We'll see what's 50 get us, especially since it's lower. Yeah, this is an amazing book. I'm definitely putting this one in the cart. It is acceptable, which sucks. Wait. We got, for just a couple pennies more, we can get it for good. Oh, they got 18 of them. Oof, 6 of these. I mean, it's not our competition. It's FBM. But 18's tough. 18, 1. We got 2 here. All FBMs. Here's the first FBA at 40. Second at 40. Oh man, this is quite a bit below 50. So what could we get it at 40? 40 is still pretty good. You would need a lot of those to sell out though. Could it happen? Yeah, it could definitely happen. The demand picks up, but you can still kind of count the sales rank drop, so it's not a crazy high demand book. That's the only thing that kind of like gets me thinking, I don't know about this one, just because it's not a crazy high demand, and there's a lot more, not necessarily sellers on it. There's less sellers than there was last year, but I don't know if there's more copies, per seller this year, because it definitely seems the count's up there. I would get one of these still, just because it's pretty low. I'd probably buy this good one right here. Get it at, what's that, 13.59. So 13.59. Get it, sell it. You could, this is the low. The low is 40, and that's still 60% ROI. I would say with this during the season, you could probably get it sold for 60 and maybe even 70, and that's an amazing return. But you know, since there's so many offers there, it might take a while. But they are giving the buy box to the FBA sellers, even though there's lower prices at that $40 price. So worst comes to worst, you get this sold for $40, make $8 profit, and you know, get 60% ROI, which is still an amazing flip for it to being the bottom. You know, being your 40 being your minimum, that's still an amazing flip. Just, you know, not as good as 70, obviously. But that's about it, guys. Like I said, there's a link in the description down below if you want to check out Bookmine. Then there's 15-day free trial for you to just test it out, see how you like it. I do highly recommend it. It's my favorite tool. It's the only tool that I use now for sourcing books. Still use Keepa for DVDs and stuff, but books, just Bookmine. You know, it's just so much faster and more efficient. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.